You are welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host, Yaira Awuno. We're coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV, and you can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. And if you're not in the comfort of your home on your way out, to work, wherever, you can join us via social media, particularly on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search for Clock TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our pages and join in the live stream there. Send your comments to our WhatsApp number that will be displayed onto your screens, subsequently, and also onto the live stream as well. Now, the conversations are going to be centered around the Christmas festivities as we are entering into a very solemn time. It's solemn for some people. It's also full of enjoyment, joy, love, happiness for others. Today, we're going to be discussing road safety because even as much as we are enjoying the festivities, we also need to keep safe as well. We need to also be responsible while we are on the road. So on the main segments, we're going to be discussing that. We're going to also have an extended online and print review segments where we're going to be discussing the trends, the things happening in and around us here in the country and, of course, on the globe. So the phone lines will be opened as well so that you can also call and weigh in on some of the issues and share with us some of your thoughts and, of course, share with us some of the things happening around you as well. Now, it's time for us to be motivated. So let's take our motivational quote for today. Right, so as we are about to enter the new year, as the year is also ending, we are wrapping up the year, we're entering into the Christmas festivities. The quote for today is around creativity, and this is by Henri Matisse, and he says, "Creativity takes courage." Creativity takes courage, and this is by Henri Matisse, as I mentioned. Now, it says here that to create is to step into the unknown without any guarantees whatsoever. It means trusting an inner voice even when it contradicts convention, expectations, or the comfort of what is already accepted. Creativity asks you to reveal something personal, your perspective, emotions, questions, or imagination, knowing it may be misunderstood, criticized, or even ignored. Every creative act is an act of vulnerability, whether you're painting, writing, designing, problem solving, or simply choosing to think differently. You are exposing a part of yourself that cannot be separated from work. Courage is required to persist despite self-doubt, fear of failure, or pressure to conform. It takes bravery to begin, to continue, and even to share. Now, Henri Matisse's quote reminds us that creativity is not just about talent or inspiration. It is about daring to be honest and original. True creativity happens when you choose expression over safety, authenticity over approval, and growth over fear. Now, as we are about to enter the new year, we need to also remind ourselves that, yes, the ideas we have, we want to implement, it takes courage to be able to take those steps. And yes, we're going to probably face a lot of challenges in the sense of some of our ideas may not be the conventional ones. They may be, going against the grain. But it takes that kind of courage that, comes from within to be able to just take that step and, do whatever it is we need to do when it comes to being creative. So whatever ideas you have, for your New Year resolutions, make sure that you build up that courage and take the step. You're not going to have any guarantees, as the quote said, but we have to choose growth over fear. Now, let's take our weather forecast for today, and then we go into the conversations quickly. Now, the weather forecast is brought to us by the Ghana Meteorological Agency, and this is a 24-hour impact-based forecast for Ghana. And it says here that this morning, partly cloudy conditions will prevail over most parts of the country, with mist or fog patches forming over the coastal forest and mountainous zones during the early hours. And as the day progresses, sunny conditions will dominate across southern Ghana, with localized thunderstorms affecting parts of the forest areas and a few areas slightly north of the coastline from the afternoon into the evening. Meanwhile, northern Ghana will experience dry and slightly hazy conditions throughout the forecast period. Now, it's key to note that relatively cool night and early morning temperatures are expected over the upper regions, and this is signed by the Central Analysis and Forecasting Office of the Ghana Meteorological Agency. So, as always, it is also important to be strapped with an umbrella, with a jacket, and if you have a car, when the clouds are forming, please offer somebody a lift, help someone in a time of need. That's also to make sure to keep safe as well. Now, right after this, we're going to be having our online and print review, so please do stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for our online and print review. I have my co-hosts here with me. I have Miriam Abnadidi and Clement Yabankwe. Now, in the conversations, we would like to hear your thoughts as well. So the WhatsApp number will be displayed onto your screens, and when the phone lines are opened, I will also alert you. And you can also join us via social media on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search for Clock TV. You'll find the Koko Digest live stream and join us there. You can send your comments there as well. Now let's get into the conversation. Hello, lady and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Yaira.
How are we doing?
Grace abounds.
We are
Up and grateful.
Divine selection.
Where's Nanaya?
Well, I'm sure they're preparing for the festivities. So yes, we're drawing closer. How are we feeling? How is it going? Preparations?
I'm in my bridesmaids mood. I mean, I'm feeling all bridey, flowery.
2026 bride, Anna.
Hey, Clark. But let me just say a very big thank you to Now Clothing for this beautiful outfit. And so God richly bless you, Now Clothing, for this beautiful piece. Yara, we are fine. We can't complain. But the traffic in Ghana is getting out of hand, especially with
traffic.
It's serious. Yesterday, I got home around 9 p.m.
This matter.
And I don't know how I ended up at Accra Koko Board. That place, if you get there by 5, 6, 7, just know that you need a mat so that you sleep, somewhere. Because I know Clement has been going there, a lot. How has the traffic situation been for you, Clement?
Mimi, it's hell. I think I personally did a video on that yesterday.
Okay.
I think we'll get into it. So
we'll get into it.
Yeah, I want to leave it cool for now.
Right. But, I mean, the traffic situation compared to, say, a few years back, I think it's better.
Yeah.
Yes, it's much better because what's the word I'm looking for? The attention to Dirty December in Ghana has sort of slowed down.
Yeah.
So we don't have a lot more people trooping in so much like we used to. And some people are saying it's a good thing. Some people are saying it's bad.
Oh, yes. Yesterday I was even having a conversation with a friend who is outside. And I was asking, are you coming for this, December? And he said something. He said, that is December in Ghana looks very crowdy. Like there are so many people everywhere. You don't really get to, create a bond with your friends, your loved ones. Everyone is just everywhere. And so he would rather come during the Easter, celebration. And I was like, I think that's a good idea. Space and bra.
Right. And, I was also on social media and then I was reading about, people's opinions on that, and some people were saying it's good that the Dirty December vibes is sort of dropping a bit, in that it will make Accra more affordable again. Because
very affordable.
Back, a few years ago, the crowds were coming and people were selling things, basic necessities at exorbitant prices, just because they know our fresh foil will come in, Malande.
And they have the money. They are coming with the dollars.
Foreign currency for will come in, buy, because I think there were even complaints about something as small as Kusiani Meku. That it got to a point where Kusiani Meku at maybe these events or these concerts could go for as high as 10 CDs. And
that is what is happening,
And even water, a bottle of water that shouldn't be above
5 CDs.
Yeah, okay, let's put that 5 CDs. Shouldn't be above 5 CDs. Would be selling for 10 CDs like So now, should I carry my own water bottle and be filling it? Maybe we'll carry a bag of pure water, put it in my bag and be going around. Like,
it reminds me, way back in uni, when you go to the markets on campus to go and shop, and then the prices are so high, you start complaining, and the market woman will be like, because some of your colleagues can afford it. And some may afford it, you can also afford it.
Yeah, but I'm saying now they are too surprised, some will be to me afford it.
That is it. Some of them don't complain, but some of us will bargain. To swear. So we have a strategy now. When you're going to the market and you don't want them to overprice the things for you, just dress normal. tie your hair with you, some scarf, wear your slippers, normal dressing.
But you know that thing, it doesn't always work. It has never worked for me. They still catch me, I don't know.
Sika bon.
Amen, I receive it.
Anyways, Yara, Accra is going to be shining, you know, for this festive season and beyond, especially with our new street lights that have been presented to the MMDs by the regional minister, Greater Accra Regional Minister.
Yeah.
And so let me just read what we have here. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Okulu, on Tuesday presented street lights to all 29 metropolitan municipal and district assemblies in the region. Now, the municipal assemblies received 150 street lights, while the district assemblies received 100 street lights. The MMDAs are to ensure the prompt installation of the street lights in strategic locations within their respective locations and submit a brief report to the Regional Coordinating Council by the end of this week.
Right.
And
I think I saw that. I witnessed that yesterday on my way home. I saw a truck and it had this, sometimes until you see it, you never really know how exactly these things work. And it's like, it's a truck with a sort of contraption and then there's a space in there where you can stand and it pushes the person up and they're fixing the bulbs and it's like, hey, wow.
That's what we are seeing.
So I saw this at Medina. Yes, Medina is looking much clearer in the evening.
I also saw this video on X, and usually when you want to know the opinions of people, you go to the comment section, and people are like, we hope not to see this thing in Accra Makola that is being sold, and they are saying this based on things that have happened in the past. And one issue that a lot of people are raising is the fact that how are these street lights going to be preserved or maintained over the years? Because every single time we have street lights being fixed, and then we have people taking them off. Our own people,
yes, they are going to sell it to make some money.
And it baffles me. I don't know why we are treating ourselves this way. Because when you use certain routes like the Achimota Forest Road, the place is so dark. These are places where lights have been fixed to,
and then they've
stolen it. So some people were suggesting that, you know what, instead of government, paying people to go and install these lights, let the community members themselves do it with their own money. So that when they catch somebody removing the lights, they can deal with the person because it's from our pockets.
But it's multifaceted in that, are the community people going to be the ones fixing it or they are going to be the ones paying for it? If they are the ones fixing it, some people in the community, knowing how they fix it, will know how to remove it.
So is that telling us that the people employed by government to fix the lights are the same people going to remove the lights? Because if you know how to fix something, you should know how to remove it.
But these people who go and steal the lights and the rest, these are criminals. And I'm saying this because maybe the idea, like the way the Bible says that the devil finds. So if there's somebody in the community that iniquity is in their hearts, waiting for the right opportunity, when they are taught to fix these things and then it takes root, they will be the ones to go. So we have to be careful. What maybe we need to do is sort of present it to the community with the district assembly or all these stakeholders also there and try to explain to them that it is for you, it is for your safety, so be vigilant. Those of you who are selling at night and the rest, be your brother's keeper. If you see somebody doing that, you should call attention and have the person brought to book, something like that, so that we won't have too many people knowing how to fix these things and then one way or another they are the same ones who will go and remove them.
So I think let me say that Mimi raised a very serious concern. One, preservation, and two, making sure that it works all the time. This is not the first time we've seen government giving out street ball to communities or to the entire country. It has been happening every year. Every government do this. But the question is, how sustainable has this situation be, or how sustainable has this thing been? That doesn't mean that just that we are entering Christmas, you bring the street bulb, and after Christmas, what's next? We're making a point that community members need to be involved. And I find it's a very key thing that anything that you are doing for the people, let the people understand why you are doing that very thing for them. If the people get to know why you are doing that thing for them, they take very good care of it. It's like buying Xmas, in Xmas season, you want to buy a gift for your child or for your husband or for your wife. Make sure you buy something that she loved, not something you think she wants. You might buy a very expensive Jaguar for your wife or your husband, but that is not what he or she needs at that point in time. So the value placed on that thing wouldn't be much. And you might feel disappointed. You might feel the person didn't appreciate what you did. But that is not the issue. The person appreciated what you did, but probably didn't involve the person.
Yeah. But
Another point is, this is coming from the regional minister. Regional minister has given it to the MMDCs. It's let me say a chain of command or a value chain. So when it gets to MMDCs, they are supposed to also involve the assembly members when they are having what we call when they meet in their assembly, they are gathering, and when there is a PM who resides over the sitting, like how Parliament does. They would hand over to the various assembly members, and the assembly members go down to give it to the various unit committee members. So we want to see this transition happening, where after regional minister giving to the MMDCs, the MMDCs also meet with the assembly members or the assembly women in their districts and hands over to them based on the needs of the people in the community.
Right.
So when it gets to the assembly members, we expect the assembly members also to meet with the unit committee members, because every electoral area has the lead being the assembly member. After the assembly member, we have the unit committee members, and the unit committee members are reps from the various communities under the electoral area. So this is the kind of transition we expect. So that when it gets to the unit committee members will now communicate to the various opinion leaders in the community that this is what we've received from the assembly or the regional minister. And regional minister is expecting that this festive season, the community is supposed to be very brightened. When he hands over this item to the opinion leaders or the chiefs or the elders of the community, they now assemble the entire community and also put before them, this is what we've received from the government or from the regional minister. And what I'm supposed to do, the action you are supposed to do. Why am I laying all this foundation? All this foundation is important because every person in this very chain of command needs to feel important.
Yeah.
But when you try to bypass one person to the other, the person you've bypassed will now start misbehaving or start putting on different characters.
Right.
Yeah, right. I have the opportunity to understand or have witnessed so many of these things happening in where I come from, in Takrady Wasa East District to be precise. That we will be there and the assembly will bring bulb, and when they bring this street bulb, they tax the community to fix it. Like what the point Mimi was making. Yes, you tax the community to fix. Why? Because you want them to make sure, that this thing works. And in my community where I come from, whenever these street bulbs goes off, the opinion leaders meet and find out how we can fix it back. They don't go to the government, they don't go to the assemblyman, because they see the importance of fixing the street bulb. And what betides you if you try to remove this thing? They will catch you red-handed and you'll be disgraced. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that let citizens feel the reason why government is doing something.
Exactly.
Or let citizens take the authority on things being done in their community by the government. If that is not done, as we are discussing here, they'll fix this thing in the next 2 days, in the next 1 week. People will go and remove them. Another point is this thing solar? That's another question. If it's not solar and it's just the bulb being fixed in it, what happens if this bulb goes,
bends out?
Yes, bulb nashing. Bulb nashing, what is the alternative means? What is the alternative means? So these are the things we expect. Yes, the regional minister has done very well. MMDC, they've done very well. But how sustainable? What is the plan?
Yeah,
the way forward? Are we going to see new ones coming every year? Or what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And the last thing is, are these things produced in Ghana or from outside country? That's another conversation that we equally need to look at.
And with the maintenance too, I think that for the fact that, these technicians who fix the bulbs, or there are technicians assigned to these things to be able to manage and handle them, they should know the shelf lives of these bulbs, right? Now, we know that, these bulbs come on probably, let's give it 6 6 p.m. to about 6 a.m. when by that time the sun has risen. So it means that from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is about 12 hours. So if for 12 hours every single day for maybe a year, maybe the shelf life or the warranty on these bulbs is probably, let's say, 24 months. That's like 2 years. In 2 years or 2 years from now, we should see some sort of maintenance being done. You know, even if bulb didn't share, as you're saying, we should see some sort of checks that, okay, what is the capacity of the bulb now? How long, based on how it's working now and how everything has been. It's been 2 years, the bulb is still active. Let's see how much, what battery power, let me just use that, how much power is left in it for it to go. And if we check and maybe it can go about 6 months, in the 6 months we should see that, okay, they've come to change it, they've come to do all those things, so that we won't be here in this country where 1 minute we are getting street lights, the next minute we are in total darkness until it's election. Because the last time I remember seeing any street lights again or Accra being lit was during the election time, and it's been basically a year now. So within that time, have there been any initiatives taken to light up the streets of Accra or even other streets in the country?
So the issue is that we do not properly plan for these things. It is when the requests come and then we move towards it. We don't really go through a proper planning when it comes to these things, because maintenance shouldn't be something we'll sit here and be discussing. It should be something that has already been thought of before the procurement of these bulbs. Right. And so I think sometimes we need to look into our budgetary when it comes to budget allocations. These things are very necessary. How much money is being spent on maintenance? That should even motivate us to work towards securing these bulbs, because if we are spending 500,000 or even $1 million on maintenance alone, that should tell you it's a lot of money. So how are we securing these bulbs that people will not steal them? But sometimes when you're even on the streets and you pay close attention to these street lights, you can tell that whole, but
and some of them also flicker, so it keeps going on and off, meaning it is
and these
ready
are the
for
same
maintenance
roads that are being used by every single person, including the minister, and she sees it.
The minister, they go with speed, so they don't really see. They do ping pong. They are not in the traffic to really feel what's. I mean, let's be honest with these things. Sometimes when you're in the traffic, sometimes you get to realize, I've been passing here, I've never really seen this building. Sometimes the traffic causes us to really pay attention, but this is even though it's on a lighter note, it could be true, because you'll be in traffic and now at a point you have to clear the way for whatever big person is coming by, because they don't want to be in the traffic. They don't probably get to see
these things
into detail.
Okay. I think I have a different opinion.
Okay.
This very matter. The reason why the regional minister is doing this, because it has come to her notice. It means she's aware.
Yeah.
She's aware of what is happening. That is why she's doing this. So I just want to say that. So, the next thing I want to...
So the argument is that the interval within which these street lights are being brought is what the argument is based on.
Okay.
Because we, the community members, we see these things every day. If, let's say, we were in the power, we have the power or the financial capabilities to be fixing the bulbs ourselves, you would see that the minute one starts to flicker, somebody would draw attention, as opposed to these big people. Aside the fact that they have other things to think about, they are not as aware compared to the normal citizens. That's the argument.
Yeah, so that is why initially I was of the view that they should let the people own whatever you do. When they own it and there's issue, the people would end up fixing it. When they own there's an issue, they end up fixing it.
Yeah. It's in two sides, because when you look at our communities, for instance, there are places where people do not live there.
Yeah.
It's just the streets.
Yeah.
An example is the Pokwase
that whole stretch,
main road.
Even the Medina stretch, it's a market.
People do not really live close to where the lights are situated. And so if you put it in the hands of community members to make sure that they are always inspecting these bulbs, that making sure that they are lit and all that, it will really be a problem. So the focus should be on two sides. Yes, we are handing it over to the community members. Pay attention to your community, what is happening. And then governments can also employ people to check the ones that are not close to people, because these are the ones that usually get affected. The streets, the community ones, you don't really see them being off. Because Mechin Koshiane Brodo street lights now say, I'll make sure say it's always lit. Nobody will come and take it from there. It is my responsibility to ensure that it's always there. But the one on the highway, feeder roads and those kind of things.
But I think we have institutions like town planning, spatial planning, and all that, who are supposed to be in charge of these things.
If I was coming to make a point that, as Mimi said, the streets, we don't have people living there. I get the point. But they are all, in Ghana, we have our demarcations, electoral area, we have constituency, we have leaders at all these very places. So you entrust it to them, they will make sure things work. And the point is, assuming if there is a rule that says that when we fix this street bulb, at least we know the lifespan is 2 years or 3 years. And when you bypass and it has been off about 2 months or 3 months, and nobody there has reported, you should hold the assemblyman or assemblywoman accountable. Well, I'm saying this because when you do that, always they will make sure things go on well.
And the people you are entrusting the lights to, are you going to motivate them? Are you going to pay them? Yes, and people need jobs.
Iniquity in their hearts.
I know, it's something I can do as a citizen, but then I would tie a tree to motivate me to. But always pay attention.
Should there always be motivation?
Exactly. That's the question I'm coming on.
If you don't motivate me, then I also sit and allow.
If you sit and allow things to happen, it be you, because I'm about to come and attack your house.
But okay, there's another point to this where, because I'm more familiar with the Medina stretch, let me use Medina. Now, Medina has the Medina market. This place is filled with people who come and go, traders, and so I'm starting from the shadow boys of the transport people to the Kayaye to the traders themselves. Now, Medina itself also has communities. I think it's a whole constituency, Medina constituency on its own. Now, when we say we are entrusting these amenities into the hands of the people, what happens when, let's say, all these come and go people who are not exactly stationed there are the ones who are sort of causing some sort of destruction? Now, let me give an example. Let's say a shadow boy, iniquity was found in his heart, and he decides to do that. He has run away, he comes and goes, he comes to shadow and go home. Then the community people will now be like, we are not doing the bad things. Is these other people who come and make this place a cosmopolitan, area that are doing the things? Why should we continually be trying to maintain them when these people keep coming and going? So what happens in that situation?
That's the question.
Even aside of who's benefiting, you've seen them, so why don't you report them?
Exactly.
That is one. But first tax.
So when this is just an example.
So I'm giving that. So
an answer to an example.
Exactly. So when we report them,
you know that we don't usually find these things happening in broad daylight. I remember when the Atimpoku issue came up that there were screws taken off. These things were not happening during the daytime. These things were happening during stealth mode, probably in the pitch hours of the night, where people will not see them, because if they were seen, people would definitely say, hey, why do you want the bridge to collapse and kill us?
So I'm saying that these theft cases of street lights do not usually happen in places where there are people, communities, markets. You won't find people trying to steal, because people are always sleeping around. It is usually the highways, the roads,
remote areas,
estates.
Exactly.
Yes,
estates.
I want to say this last thing on this very issue is the fact that over the years it has been alleged that, for example, NDC is in power, when they bring these street lights, they send it to communities who vote for NDC, not NPP. We've gotten this kind of allegations over the years. So we know that, as the president said, there's a research agenda. Yes, so we should distribute it accordingly. We want to find a situation that because community A votes more for party A, then you give community A more than community B. Let's give it.
Okay, so what if community A already has enough street lights and then community B does not have at all?
Sure, that one the point.
The two allocated street lights, giving it to community B. Will it not?
But
that one is just
can be an equitable distribution.
Exactly. At the point I'm trying to make, it shouldn't be on political basis.
It
should be on political basis.
I think these institutions that we know of, the spatial planning, town planning, all of that, we should see more of them. We should see them actually educating people on these things. That is not right. And then I think I have a suggestion that our bodies too, maybe they can put some sort of preventive measure, like you see the way people put these barbed wires on their homes, where the thieves, before you enter, it will shock you. Maybe something at the top there, so you can climb. When you get there and you are stuck, fried.
How do you even climb these, tiny poles?
A determined person can do anything. I mean, people used to climb coconut trees with all kinds of contraptions back in the day. Even now, they still do. Street lights is not.
Oh wait, so I want to understand, when you steal the bulb, like I don't understand.
And allegations.
There's a market.
There's a market. A place people allegation that they do so. But we hope that this one, critical steps will be taken and to be maintained, so that this festive season, those who will be going out, especially at 31st night, by the time you come home, you realize everything is empty. But we believe that these street lights will cause the magic for us. So I would say, Ghanaians, let's accept this and preserve it, so that we don't have any incidents of theft in our area.
There was also this bit of news that came some time back, where there was a sort of initiative to light the whole of Accra. It started, very well, and then after some time we didn't hear anything. Is this also part of it, or this is a different initiative?
I think it's also part of it, because it's all meant to light Accra, and it shouldn't be only Accra. It should go to other parts of the country as well.
Well, we have a comment here, and this one says, the most important thing in life is to learn how to give out love and to let them feel it ever. Good morning, Sister Ira. In fact, extend my greetings to all the media staff, especially Mr. Joel, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Felix, Mr. Clement, and overall Mr. Safas. We really love working with them as a team ever. Odupong Film Production all the way. Money good from Castland. We move forward. Thank you for your comments and your shout-outs. Merry Christmas to you. Moving on. What else is happening in this Ghana here?
Been, something happening with the Ministry of Transport that has got a lot of people talking. As Deputy Minister for Transport, Honorable Dorcas Tofe, was seen, inspecting some buses. 300 buses slated for delivery to Ghana very soon. And this happened outside Ghana. I'm trying to get to the country so that...
Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt. Yes, Egypt. Exactly. So these are Metro Mass Transit, buses in Egypt being inspected by the Deputy Minister for Transport, Honorable Dorcas Tofe. I hope I got her name right. And a lot of people are, in a way commending the government for having that in mind. The supply of buses, additional buses.
Yeah.
We have quite a number of buses here in Ghana, and 300 buses are going to be added to the ones we have here. People are saying they've really tried. Others are also of the view that, why can't we produce these buses in Ghana? They are just asking. We have... Apostle Kantanka, the late Apostle Kantanka, he's trained people to, take after him. And so why don't we employ these people? We have KNUST graduates or students, also technical students that are good in manufacturing and those kind of things. Why can't we employ them to do what we are doing? And others are also responding, saying that when it comes to these things, we trust the prowess of, the foreigners to do a better job as compared to our own people, because we know our own people. And so let's just accept it that way. Then it goes back to what we've been talking about since the beginning of this segment, maintenance. How are we maintaining the existing ones? And we are even going
because that's my big question. The buses that have broken down and have been parked, what is happening to them? Is there any move to repair and bring these buses back on the road? Or all we will do is once the buses break down, we go for more and come and keep dumping more buses because
we have money.
I think, yeah, right. I'll pick it from this angle. One, it's a good thing they are doing. Two, we want to know the time these buses will come to the country. Last year, when we heard of electric buses, they said we were going to receive 100 electric buses, and the only one we had as a country was 10. 90 is yet to be delivered. Where is it coming from? Why has it kept long? And what is really happening? Has there been a break in the supply chain, or there's something that we are not aware of? So if the Deputy Minister for Transport is saying that 300 buses is yet to come, then there should be an update on the earlier electrical buses. Though we heard the Minister of Transport earlier saying that they are still talking with the producer or the one in charge of those buses to bring the 90 ones. Yeah. But we expect the 90 to come, then the 300 will come and add so that we get 390 as a country, because our transport system as a country is really getting tiring. It's really getting tiring because when you close from work and there's no car, just the private transport, and it's very headache. I think this will just lead us to the next conversation. But what I want to say is, aside from getting these buses, there should be a maintenance system, as you're talking about. When you go to some of these transport yard, when you go to STC yard, you could see a lot of buses parked there, not working. More than 20 buses. What is happening? What is the update? But we keep on adding new ones to it. When you go to Metro Mass yard too, you could see a lot of buses there. Is it that the cost in repairing is higher than we getting a new one? If that is alternative, let us know. if you are supposed to, if you are supposed to sell the sports ones for us to buy new ones, then let's do that. Rather than we making the buses there get rotten, and the least we will know is scrap, and we are selling it just for some peanuts.
And when you are selling it for scraps too, the value drops less than half. Like, it becomes so low, and you wonder, was this even a good enough investment? And I think that we need to sacrifice where we input funds into or pump in funds to repair these buses, get to employ more people. We have them running on the road. More people would also patronize, and you get the money back.
Exactly.
So why constantly bringing new buses when the old ones are still there? For all you know, the problems are not that big.
I know, right?
So we want to be privy to such information. Ministry of Transport. We know you are capable of all this work. Yeah, we know the PRO there is so capable, and I know in no time they'll be briefing the public on issues like that.
Well, I remember when we were having a conversation with transportation, especially with institutions and organizations getting buses for their staff. And then a caller called and said the problem is not even with the acquisition of the bus, but who is going to drive it, the maintenance and all that. So if these sports buses are repaired, can't we outsource them? Can't we give it out to institutions so that they use them internally? Okay, we won't go on a long journey, just internally, so that they can also be helping the transport issue. Because this morning I had a very terrible experience. We missed the bus, and so I had to hop on public transport, and I stood in it, and I paid the same amount as the one that was sitting. So assuming we had 10 of these buses running just this morning, and we are not allowing anyone to stand. Everyone should sit because there are more buses coming. We all feel comfortable. It is always the basic things, the little things that make life so comfortable for us.
So maybe on that note, let me just move straight to this conversation we have also as part of transport.
But before we come there, we have a video of the Deputy Minister briefing the public. So let's take a look at that, and then we come back to discuss more on this.
Very soon, we are here in Cairo to inspect, to make sure that everything is intact. And truly, we are very happy with what we are seeing. So very soon, it's coming to Ghana, and we are very happy. The resetting agenda for His Excellency the President is on. About 300 pieces coming. So Ghanaians, get ready for Metro Bank. coming in very soon. We are here in Cairo to inspect, to make sure that everything is intact. And truly, we are very happy with what we are seeing. So very soon, it's coming to Ghana, and we are very happy. The resetting agenda for His Excellency the President is on. About 300 pieces coming. So Ghanaians, get ready for Metro.
Right, so that was a video of our Deputy Minister for Transport, Dorcas Afotofe, and yes, she was reassuring us that they are doing all the necessary checks, and the buses do look good.
It looks very good.
We hope to maintain these buses to continue looking good.
When the buses came, we thought we had seen the most nicest bus in the whole world. I mean, it had charging ports, Wi-Fi, everything. Like, it was so nice.
But we hope this time around things wouldn't be like previously. And
how is it not going to be like previously if we are not doing anything to preserve these buses? Because we need to talk about it, the preservation of the buses. It is
sometimes I wouldn't blame the institutions much. I would blame the ordinary Ghanaian. People who hop into these buses and you realize ports or some charge so sometimes it is our character. It is we the individuals. We are causing, aside the electric and mechanical and all those issues they are supposed to do, our individual, our way of life is making these buses not the best.
I will also say, what kind of education did you give to the people about the buses? You brought the buses and dumped it on us. Say, oh, buses are about enter. And then, meanwhile, there are things in the buses that you need to educate people about. And
there's also
this is that.
I think, Mimi, when you go to Metro Mass Transport, I have used the Metro Mass Transport for quite a number of time. Before you enter, when there's a new bus, they educate you. That this side, you are supposed to, when you want to charge your phone, you can charge your phone at this side. You are supposed to do, you can do this. There's that kind of education. Even on a long journey, they get a place that they will stop. Like if you want to visit the washroom, do anything, and that they do educate. And they have been doing that often.
But recently, a video surfaced the internet where a man driving his own, public transport, like on one car, and then he was educating the passengers about the rules and regulations of his own car. Don't dump refuse in the car, don't do this, don't spit, and that kind of thing. Every single time he's about to move, he does that. With the Metro Mass and other buses you're talking about, it is when the bus is fresh that the education is done. 1 week, 2 weeks, But is it the same people that came the first time? No one or Mosamba Biomana? No. There are different people coming every single time. So the education, or dedicate somebody, every single time the bus is about to move, you educate the passengers about what to do and what not to do. If not, we'll come back here and sit here and talk about preservation, maintenance of buses when we don't educate people about them.
So there's another aspect. You mentioned that even the Ghanaians' attitude towards these things, but then there's also another angle we may want to look at, where maybe these charging ports, these Wi-Fi provisions are an extra cost on the, let's say, the bus driver and the conductor or the people handling the bus. But you see, the fare remains, subsidized. So it's like, what if these people themselves deactivate these things so that the extra cost does not come where they know that they're not going to get the money for it? I don't know if, do you understand the flow?
I get
where,
you.
like, these USB ports, you see that they are damaged. It's like, hey, so you can't charge your phone because maybe charging your phone drains the car battery, and the car battery, they are not going to get the amount of money to repair it from the fares being, charged and all of those things.
Why don't you put in that cost in the fare you're charging?
I'm saying that
it's already part of it.
It's a lot of people. The components of all these issues we are talking about, it's not just the consumer, but then also even the people in the car. Sometimes you use the normal trotro and then the seat, if you're not careful, it will tear your beautiful dress you're wearing to work. And the mates don't care. They'll say, oh, manage. And they still take the same fare from you. Then sometimes you even hear passengers complaining that body works kakra or something. Sometimes these seats are so there's literally no foam anymore. You're sitting on hard metal, and by the time you even get down, there's no circulation in your body, the peripherals of your body, and they're still taking the money. It's like So coming to even the Metro Mass, if all these things are an extra cost, do we not think that they themselves would decide not to make it available for us because people will want to overuse it? Somebody like Miriam, whose battery is always low, she will decide, okay, is this Ayalolo bus I used to charge my phone?
Oh no, if you've embedded the price, the cost of that in the fare I'm about to pay, and I'm aware, say, Ekanwa, why shouldn't I use it? I will use it to the fullest.
And also, what I want to say is that they make. I have used Metromax from Kumasi to Takrady. It's almost 7 to 8 hours, and we enjoy all these stuffs. And one thing I've realized about Metromax is that when their car is no good, they pack it. They pack it. They don't bring a car with the seats not the best. They pack it and they bring you the best car. And when you're on your way and assuming you get emergency or there's anything, they call for a different car to come and pick. Unlike the other cars that we do have. So that is the uniqueness about Metromax and STC. People see it to be very safe for you for long journey. They see it very, very good for you. When I look at these companies, organizations who travel for long distance to other parts of the African country, when they are traveling, they use this Metromax and STC's transport because they believe in the experience of the drivers. They believe in what the drivers would be able to do. Is it yesterday? I think we might move to that topic. I don't know. It's so dear to my heart because yesterday, on our way home, when we go to that is Koko board, when Mimi was actually talking of. When we go to Koko board, we saw a huge crowd. And we were wondering what is really happening. From Koko board to, I think they call it Roxy. Yeah, Roxy. Yes. You could see a very, very long queue. People coming. So you're wondering what is happening. Car is not coming. When you are standing at the traffic lights, just from Roxy to Koko board and that traffic light, you could see from that side to Graphic Road to a chunk of people. And suddenly I was like, no, let's see what is happening. So the sound engineer took some footages of the scene. What was really going on. I think the producer will get it
let's
on
take a
screen.
Look at that quickly.
So that we speak to it. So we decided to go close to it to find out what was really happening. Because we're like, is it because of the festive season that we experienced this kind of traffic, or there is something different that we don't know of? But when we got close, we realized there is security and personnel's there. So we still went close. I realized that these are, let me say, a task force. You see, last time we were here talking about the fact that Minister of Transport has released a communique that there's going to be a task force on drivers who charge beyond what they are supposed to take the normal prices. So assuming places where they charge 5 cedis, they charge 10 cedis. And when that thing happens, there's going to be a task force to crack down all these people. And also we had a communication from the AMA also saying that there's also going to be a task force to make sure that things like this stop. So yesterday, the people we saw there, we saw the mayor himself.
Oh, okay.
He was on ground, making sure that things work. Making sure that people who charge abnormal fare go by the normal fare. That was how we got to know this chunk of people there.
So what was actually the problem? Was it because of the fare being increased? That was why people were not getting cars, or the task force were stopping the buses from, allowing people to get into their buses? Okay, so this was actually what was happening. Because the drivers were not willing to take the normal fare, they decided to move empty by not picking people. Wow. So when they also realized that the mayor and the group were there, they decided to use other routes. Unlike the normal routes that they were using. That is why we realized there were a chunk of people there.
All right.
Yes.
So let's take a look at the video quickly and get to discuss a little more on this issue.
He's from STC. I go. Enya Ghana for. You make Babu Chop. The best amunya line back home. I buy car say you better share our best. I be arrange cars among see cars one day. See a person be a big gidi. Ya arrange cars so Munya munya bochena mofona obian kodu fie jojo. Yeba mo chopa. To obian nya bochema munye gidigidi. Bia benyaka. Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Obase Obebua Ghana for. This is the first time I be say yes. If I'm here as a mayor, I'm sure say bibia be kosu jojo. Drivers no so amu jiji sika so amu jiji no. Ya chichibi. They don't be family akwanso. Ya me shira mo nyina. Merry Christmas.
Asante, where's your bag?
They are not allowing them to charge
Right, so that was the Accra Mayor Michael Koko Aloti, on grounds trying to make sure the drivers do the right thing. And this, as much as it is a good sign, it's something that will favor us a little. How long can we keep? Will he be coming every day?
So we heard that the mayor was saying that Omonia live na Obia Benya car. That was like a good thing. I mean, this thing that we are seeing there didn't start today. Every single time you go to Accra Koko board to pick a car, Obebre, 1 hour there, you will spend there before you get a car. It has been happening and it has been normalized. Now you're there be fun because that place is not a bus stop and it's a station. So where are we going to stand to? So the best thing is allocate a place. Buses so that we can form a proper queue and then enter the buses. If not, this is how it's always going to be.
Well,
can I come in?
Okay, so before you do come in, I think we have the PR of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mr. Gilbert Ankara, on the line, and we'll be having a conversation with him. So Clement will be speaking with him and asking him a few questions to enlighten us on the situation at hand. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you too. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us here on the Koko Digest Morning Show.
Sure, thank you for having me. And once again, on behalf of the Mayor of the City of Accra, Honorable Michael Papaluke, wish you a good morning to all your cherished viewers.
All right, good morning to you too. So, Clement, over to you.
Boss, thank you so much, sir, Mr. Ankara, for your time. Yesterday, we were with you on grounds and we left there close to 9 to 10. And I indeed want to commend you for the good work you are doing for the people of Ghana. People want to understand why such move at this point in time. Why did you start yesterday?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. You know, a lot of consultations had gone on earlier on. The very action by the Mayor of Accra. Intelligence we take some months ago. The pretext such kind of unfair charges with respect to affairs. And if you look at the Assembly's bylaws on some of these transportation solutions, they are supposed to adhere to lay down rules and regulations. But what we have gathered, a lot more of the drivers were charged unfair. So the mayor quickly engaged the entire Metropolitan Security Council together with transport operators, including members of GPRCU, Taxi Drivers Association, and all forms of transport, in cargo transport associations within the entire city. And it came out quite clear that a lot more of the drivers taking some of these unapproved fares were not their drivers. These are closing drivers, they call them, who normally don't have specific stations. So quickly, we must move in to ensure that we deal with the issue. Prior to that, a lot more consultations were done. As the ministerial level. That is why we even had the ministry coming in to ensure the support with some fleet of transport to ease the burden on commuters into the city to lay down their heads after a long day's work. So some of these, let me say, engagements necessitated this very action in as much as the assembly was done with consultation, meeting with the transport unions. Even the mayor had instances where the mayor, Honorable Michael Pakwalote himself, had been on the ground to engage some of these floating drivers. And as much as we know that they don't have specific stations, and their consultations are also ongoing to ensure that we room all of them into the transport yards that we have within the city. So basically, this is what necessitated this very action. And as I said, we believe that enforcement will be key and intensified after we got that kind of support from the ministry. And so that is the gist. Yesterday, the mayor led the task force to ensure that there is compliance. The exercise on the operation, just as he said, is not going to end. It's going to continue throughout. The mayor also specifically indicated that as part of measures of the assembly to ensure that we promote trading activities within the very season. We appreciate the fact that if you come into the central business district, a lot more of traders are there with the human population is there. So mayor, together with the stakeholders, we're looking at blocking some specific streets into the city center to allow for trading activity. So a lot more is going on to ensure that we have a city where we can all live it, especially during this Christmas season and then beyond. And let me use this opportunity to also say very kind thank you to your team for being part of the exercise, and that shows that together with the media we'll be able to achieve development.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. Yesterday on grounds, we picked a few issues from some of the passengers. And one major concern was the fact that some of the drivers picked the citizens all right, but they didn't send them to their destination. They just alighted them on the way and decide not to go. On this issue like this, what is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly going to do about it?
Okay, thank you very much. You know, we had such reports. And just as the exercise really began in full force yesterday, it's going to be intensified as the days go by. We would ensure that for some of these drivers, immediately we saw the mayor taking action. Mayor himself, Honorable Michael Pakwalote, gave out his personal contact to commuters, to residents who are moving out, for them to call him personally if any of the drivers do stop them. As an assembly, as part of our intelligence work, we're able to also take contacts with respect to number plates of all the vehicles that the mayor interacted with yesterday. So we have details of all these data, let me put it that way, and coupled with the mayor himself giving out his number, the number of the TR, myself was also giving out to those commuters to ensure that if any of the drivers stop them anywhere, quickly they could call back. For me, we have not received any reports yet, but just as I said, these are early days, and we want to use this opportunity quickly to also thank the drivers, some of the drivers who were also charging up. If you look at maybe from the Koko board area to Kanishi, for instance, it's around 3 50 steps west. We have some of the drivers charging at high as 5 CDs and all that. But a couple of them were complying, and we want to use this opportunity to also thank them for supporting. Let me also add that, we saw the FTC supporting the drive to ensure that the commuters get more place to move with them. Okay. Just as the mayor has said, in the coming days, government through our very own president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is going to ensure that we have more fleets in the system to be able to support the transportation system to commute residents to and through the city of Accra.
Thank you very much for that. You talked of the STC, and yeah, yesterday we witnessed that. But the fact that you said more are coming is a good news. This morning on my way to work, where I'm coming from, around Sotium, I saw this STC card there. So I was thinking it's just for a personal use, but I went to the driver to find out. He said it's one of the buses that has been deployed by STC to aid citizens to get to markets early. But one concern a lot of people were raising is the fact that they need more of these buses in the system. And we don't know when it's going to come. So please, is there any information about that, that today, if the exercise is to continue, are we going to see more of the buses?
Sure, of course. And just as you saw yesterday, the mayor himself, Honorable Michael Papalote, was there to even call passengers to enter into some of these buses. And just as he had said, government is, let me say, we are actually a city and a metropolitan assembly. And for that matter, whatever the mayor says, it's not just something he just wants to say. He doesn't promise at all. So when he makes some of these announcements, they are actions. And just as we saw, the FTC have released a lot more of the fleet. Okay. Yes, I can assure you that from today and in the coming days into the Christmas festivities and the New Year festivities, we're going to have more of these fleets into the system. Our tax force are also going to be all out there to ensure that there is full compliance from the drivers as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Lastly, before you go, as we were just talking to some of the passengers or citizens, people were showing some positive response that it's a good step from the mayor. But others were like, this exercise is making us stay here for long, and why don't you allow us to pay the price we're supposed to pay? What will you tell viewers? What will you tell citizens? Should they cooperate with you? Should they exercise patience? What at all should they do in a situation like this?
Just as we said, this is for the entire public good. And as part of intelligence, that as I said, at the city, we gather, these are concerns. And as a listening mayor, a listening government, action must be taken. That's what we stand it. There are rules and regulations governing whatever we do. And as transport operators, the assembly, even local bylaws, they're supposed to start approved fares that has been agreed. And so if we have some other drivers being responsible and others not being responsible, of course, we should ensure that the law takes its course. Just as the way we go in very hard on it, persons who flout our sanitation bylaws. These are issues that are of concern to the city of Accra. And as a city authority, we must ensure that we deal with the issues. And I can assure you that we are not going to stop. We want to urge commuters into the city residents to support whatever we do because it is for the larger good. And the majority of the traders yesterday, let me say, were happy with what was going on. Those who feel they will want to embark on some of these higher or high transportation fares, of course, they could resort to either, let me say, these contracted commercial. But for the buses which are meant for the entire citizens, we as a city, so far as you have designated or you want to do business with respect to transportation in the city, you must comply. And just as the mayor has said, we are not going to sit down for some of these drivers to exploit citizens and commuters into the city. This is the only city we have, so we put in a lot of measures to ensure that the people can live in and love it. And these are one of them. We are going to intensify it just as the mayor has said. I can assure you on that.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your time. And Clock TV want to say, anytime you want to go out, just reach out to us. And we will be with you to cover it for the public to know what is really going on. Thank you so much for for your time and have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Right. So that is a very insightful conversation there with the PRO of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mr. Gilbert Ankra. Thank you so much for joining us. We also have a video of the Accra Mayor. We had a bit of a discussion with him as well. So let's take a look at that quickly.
So the end of the Christmas, we are not going to stop. We will make sure drivers will charge the normal fees that we're supposed to charge the passengers. I beg Ghanaians, this is not good. We cannot say because of Christmas we'll twist the passengers' hand to take money. I will not accept it, and I'll make sure the law will take its cost. Because if it's 6 cedi, I'll make sure it takes 6 cedi. So the passengers will rest assured. I'm here to work for them. I'm here to serve them. If I have to be here to 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for people to get car, I'll stay here. I'll make sure everybody will get car and get home safe. But as you said, we have done arrangement with the STC with Alolo to make sure we pick the people home. Merry Christmas and enjoy the Christmas. We'll make sure we continue to serve you. God bless you all. It's the first operation that we started. We'll have a few issues, but from tomorrow we are going to do it differently. From tomorrow we will not let the people know that we are here. We'll move on the road. We'll stop them on the main road. That time you have gone almost half of the mile. So that time, if you get down, we'll put them to book. So the end of the Christmas, we are not going to stop. We will make sure drivers will charge the normal fees that we're supposed to charge the passengers. I beg Ghanaians, this is not good. We cannot say because of Christmas we'll twist the passengers' hand to take money. I will not.
Right, so that was the Accra Mayor also assuring us that this will continue, and yes, they've started something and we hope to see them finish it. Now, this is a quick reminder that the phone lines are finally open, so we'd like to hear from you. Please do call and weigh in on the conversations here. Also, you can send your comments to our WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens or to the YouTube and Facebook live stream. The phone lines are open, so please do call. Thank you. Now, back to the conversation. Yes, transport. Considering the fact that the mayor has had to come to make sure that these drivers comply with the rules, this should tell us how bad the issue has gotten.
And is the mayor always going to come to remind us that please don't charge this amount of money? You know, Clement made mention of the fact that it is an individual behavior. We've purposed in our hearts, say, and that is why each and every time, instead of 7 cedis, you decide to charge 10 cedis, just because you've seen a lot of people there. And when chia or bibechia into yesterday, I was just at Circle, and I was walking by somebody, those shadow boys, and then the guy was go for number 10 cedis on bechia. I was like, really? Yeah, was
You know, this thing started with the phenomenon where, let's say, because of the route I'm familiar with, let me just use that. So let's say you are a driver coming from Oyarifa to Accra. They won't, pick the passengers straight to Accra. They would take from Oyarifa to Medina. Then another fare from Medina to Accra. And when you complain, you're in the bus until... Okay, so we have a caller on the line, so let me hold on to that. Hello? Okay, sorry, we just lost that caller. So you'll be in the bus, you're just about, alighting, and then they start loading to Accra. It's like, Inti, you are going to Accra and you did not say anything. Then their mates, they have this expression on their face, very indignant. And you're loading from Medina. See, yeah. It's like, hey.
Some people will even alight everyone and then start.
And it's like, now if the fare from, let's say, Oyarifa to Accra is 10 cedis, Oyarifa to Medina is 5. Then from Medina to Accra is 8 cedis. So now they are going to be getting approximately about 12 or 13 cedis instead of the 10 cedis. And this thing started, we protested a little where, some people would argue with the drivers and the maids, but not the way with this issue, attention is being drawn to where there's a task force. If we had started from then, maybe we wouldn't have gotten here.
It's because,
now they call it short or something.
Because the pressure is now mounting during this festive season. That is why I think our leaders think it is right they enforce those rules now, because it will be very effective now as compared to the previous months getting to this time.
Maybe surprisingly yesterday after this very coverage, we were standing there and we heard one shadow voice. Omoko, this year they load this straight to be you below do Kanesi 35. Udu Kanesia to also Odoko, Udu Odoko to also Kwashiman. So instead of like assuming let me use Kwashiman road. Instead of picking Kwashiman straight 55. When they load that short, but I told you to question these incidents.
Yes.
So I was like, these shadow boys too. Why are you bringing this kind of ideas?
I think dealing with
because they also are going to be getting a percentage of that money.
So how are we dealing with these people?
I think that's another concern.
Unemployment.
No,
concern
we will always, blame it on poverty and unemployment. How did they end up there? Who gave them the right? You are a driver, you are driving your car, right? You are a mate. It is your right to drive and it's your right to shadow. Then why do you have a mate in the car? You've employed a mate to work for. Now, mates, the responsibility and so about this car or car. No, there should be somebody on no shadow car. It is your job. When did this start?
You see, let me tell Mimi that this is a business strategy. When it comes to business, everybody wants a way to make sure that the car gets full. And so when these shadow boys are doing it, they try to bring more traffic to your car. You get a point. But the issue is, it's getting, so let me know you that way, it's getting tiring. When you hear this, sometimes the driver wants to take the normal fare, but these shadow boys will be like, no.
Hold on to that. We have a caller on the line. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Koko Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is David. I'm calling from Kenya.
Right. So we'd like to hear from you.
Okay. So the solution to all this thing is very simple. We should get bus terminals where GP, how do we even call them? The transport regulatory authorities can regulate these things very well. When you close from work, you go to the terminal, join the vehicles, we take our tickets. If you are going to Accra, Kanesi, wherever you are going, you join the vehicle, and then you are gone. But we stand by the roadside for these sorts of guys who are not regulated by anybody. That is how come these problems coming up. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much for your contribution as well. So bus terminals.
Yeah, he's talking about bus terminal. We have one bus terminal, a very beautiful one, modern one that was built at Achimota New Station. It is there. How did it end? Clement made mention of the fact that when you are doing something, involve the people. Ask them, do you want it or not? Because I feel I'm through overhead. Early morning. When I can just stand by the roadside and get a car.
As tired as you are, you spent your 8 hours giving your best to your institution of employment. Even the walk from here to the National Theatre.
It's so tiring.
I take my time because some of us
you have
tired.
If you are working within the ministries, if you are not fortunate to go to Circle,
Station,
you would have to walk to Koko Board. Koko Board
before you get
a car. And even that place, I always say that if you find yourself at Koko Board around 5, 6, 7, just know, say, Obeda home.
The mayor himself witnessed it.
It's serious. It is very, very serious. And so with the bus terminal there, if they are going to do it, they should do it at places where it's going to benefit the people. If it is here, ministries have one. At least major points. One is going to Circle, one is going to Medina, vantage points so that people can get cars to go home. If not there, we will keep struggling like this.
But you see, another thing too is the way the town planning and all of those things was years ago versus now. Sometimes it is going to require some sort of sacrifice. Bringing a bus terminal, like you're mentioning, in the ministries, where exactly are we going to put it?
There are always going to be ways.
There are always...
Yes, there's always going to be a way. But here is the case, like you're talking about the fact that the convenience, tiring, all of these things. So now, let's say, assuming the bus terminal, the best place to put it would be, let's say, around, let me use Tema Station or where the Octagon is, or the stadium is even, okay, let's say even the stadium. How many people will be able to come there? And even which part of the stadium are we going to be able to put it? But that being said, we have another caller on the line, so let's hear our caller and get back into the conversation. Hello?
Hello?
Morning.
Hello?
Hello? Could you please turn down the volume of your set?
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, please. Thank you for calling the Koko Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Kevin, calling from Kumasi.
Right. We would like to hear from you.
Okay. One thing I realized about this congestion on the road is that most of the transport cars will have a station. So usually you see us standing by and fighting over a car. And one thing too I realized is that the policemen on the road are a major cause of these things. Earlier this morning, I stayed at Kuchi and I was coming to Edu. We go to a point at the car runabout, and the police woman there took 15 cedis from the front driver. The man was even willing to give the woman 5 cedis, but the woman denied the 5 cedis and took 15 cedis. So imagine from Kuchi to Santash runabout, the driver paid 10 cedis. He got to the car runabout. He paid 15 cedis, which is 25 cedis. He will get to KJTR, he will pay another 5 cedis. Almost 25 cedis there. And he's coming out to the same thing. So within a period of 2 hours, these police people had taken about 50 to 60 cedis from them. And these men who are doing things for their owners, they can't just be giving these police people money, which will go against them. So we must also talk to these policemen on the road for them to limit the money they are taking from. Sometimes they will take the money without even checking the roadworthy of the person or the insurance or the driver's license. So these people too are a major cause of the increase of the lorry fare. Thank you very much.
Thank you also. So, like Clement said, usually it's our behavior.
It's our behavior, Era.
Even in the police service, yes, there are bad nuts in the soup. Even among us as citizens, there are bad nuts. So, as he mentioned, so I like how he clarified it, that some of them don't even check what they need to check. They just take money. Then there are some times where these drivers are also,
they know they're at fault.
Yes, they are at fault. So they make the payment.
Yeah.
So it is two things. You know very well your roadworthy has expired. You don't have the extinguisher, all of that. You are not meeting the requirements. You take your money and pay to get to continue on the road, and then we, the citizens, now have to suffer for that.
But Era, do you know one thing?
Before the other bad police people to try to make money off of them.
You see, maybe as a question that how long will this exercise by the mayor continue? Maybe even if let's say it continues for the whole year, still, we will have people doing what they are doing.
Exactly.
We will get people who will still be charging that abnormal prices, and we get people who will be paying. Why? Because yesterday after this incident, we had people agitated. I didn't know by answer. I didn't this kind of concern. People are so willing to pay, and others can't afford. So a conversation like, I don't know, drivers so you meet people such as this. No matter what the government comes to do, no matter what GPR2 comes to do, they are still inciting the drivers to do whatever they are doing. In another car, I found myself, the mothers were saying that in the command tertiary, the DX but market was so bad. Inside the inter-drivers, about sometimes be charging 10 cedis or 20 cedis that we're supposed to pay 5 cedis or 10 cedis. So they were complaining bitterly that what is going on is no good. So action needs to be taken. So on the other hand, people are happy about what they are doing. On the other hand, people are also not happy.
Clement, do you know, I think the whole solution to this, the other time I mentioned it, is that creates competition for these drivers.
That's how we have these buses coming.
You have them, so allow them to charge their normal 10 cedis. No, allow them to charge it, but bring in more buses that you are charging less. That is the competition. You will not even have to say anything. Eventually, they'll have to comply by also reducing their prices. It's as simple as that.
But then also, if we are going to go by what you're saying, then we may have to also bring, as much as this is two-sided, we may also have to bring the same truck size cars, because a lot of citizens also complain that these buses are slow, having to pick so many people all the time. Now, if we have government-controlled truck buses, which are like probably branded, we can identify them, you see that because of them also operating quite similarly on the roads, not in the bad way where they misbehave on the roads, but let's say with the speed, with the delays are going to be less as compared to the bigger buses. You would see that more Ghanaians will be inclined to patronize those buses.
But you can't please everybody, right? Sure. You cannot have comfort and have reduction of price at the same time. If you want comfort,
even then go and pay. They shouldn't reduce the prices.
If you want comfort, go and pay the 10 cedis, 15 cedis, and enter the bus. That one it will move fast. And buses are going to be slow, but you are paying a reduced price. No.
On the other hand,
don't reduce it. Let us pay, but it is government.
No,
we shouldn't reduce it. It is the reduction we are talking about.
But yesterday,
the standard fare, not the increase that these drivers are.
Yesterday, what I witnessed, it was not the buses, the long buses. It was the new ones, the Toyota Haze, the one that we have in the office, which pays 13 passenger, total of 13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just very comfortable, full air condition. The one I saw this morning from my the one I saw this morning from my stretch, it was also this small car. It takes maximum of 13, 14 people. That is the new buses out there. So it's a good one they are doing. All what we expect is more should come. More should come.
And then the ones already available too should be repaired. Now our time is running out, so let's take our newspapers quickly and then we move into the next segment. Who's first?
I'm searching for the newspaper, but let me say this. This thing is on my heart. This NSS story. The last time we were here talking about the fact that some institutions are rejecting service personnel. Some institutions are rejecting service personnel. And that thing needs to be looked at critically. Because if they post a personnel to an institution, and the next thing the personnel hears, he or she has been rejected. Where do you expect the personnel to go?
Did the authority also do their diligence, due diligence? I mean, searching that, this company is going to need about 20 people, so let's supply them, quotes and quotes.
Exactly.
These institutions get interns every now and then, so
yes, maybe they have interns.
You see,
interns, you don't have to really pay them.
No, but we're talking about
service is even the service is being paid by the government.
Most of the institutions that are rejecting these people usually are private institutions. That is what I know.
The director for NSA, I think we have the video.
Yes,
and the producer should get to the screen.
Let's take a look at the video quickly and then we move forward.
It is an act that undermines the very spirit of this national program. Such last-minute frustrations are unacceptable. Therefore, let me be unequivocal about what the National Service Authority is doing. We have moved beyond appeals. We have formally written through our supervising ministry to the Office of the President to insist, and really insist, that all ministries, departments, agencies, and government institutions that are located service personnel must honor their quotas. Further, the institutions who reject personnel must, without valid reasons and official release letters, will be subjected to punitive actions, including blacklisting them from subsequent postings. And we really mean business. This is not a request for convenience. It is a demand for operational integrity, national responsibility, and respect for our future leaders. It is disheartening to know and see that when our personnel visit the various agencies, I mean, it's sad. To the extent they just, and they just send them away with no dignity, no respect. Please, I think that our other institutions can do better than that. To our service personnel, I say your frustration is heard. We are leveraging the highest levels of government to ensure that the scheme functions with the fairness and predictability you deserve. We are fighting to close these gaps in accountability. To the heads of all participating institutions, the allocation of service personnel is a shared national responsibility. We expect you to plan for, accept, and integrate your quota. Do not shirk this responsibility. Let us work together to build a system defined not by last-minute rejections, but by seamless transitions and mutual respect. It is
right. So that was the director for the National Service Authority. And so the specific part I picked up was that these institutions that are turning national service personnel away without any valid reason.
Exactly.
So they have the space, they just don't want the responsibility.
How do you know they have the space, Yaira?
They have the data. NSA will get the data before they do post it.
Was not the same person who came out to say that some of these institutions refuse to give the number of people they want to them? So they are also assuming that they will need 30 people. And
so
then
if they refuse to give the number of people, I'm not sure they work with them.
Yes, we don't work with you.
They do.
They will not work with you. If you refuse to give, we will not work with you, because these people are just there to add to your productivity. They are not just to take from
and
your productivity.
And
to learn from this.
Yeah.
So based on what she said, it means that there are people who give them the allocation. We need this number of people, or we need service personnel in our institution. So if you need service personnel in our institution, we bring you service personnel, and you treat them anyhow. To extent, you see the point he made there. And people have been complaining that this is what we face.
Well, I think because of our time, we will discuss this maybe on Tuesday. We'll go into further detail. Maybe more news would also come up about that later. So let's get our newspapers quickly and then we wrap up.
Okay, so I have with me Graphic Showbiz, an entertainment newspaper. And on the front page, it is all about Dirty December. And they are asking, is Dirty December really dirty? That is a question being asked there. And this is a report by Gifty Owusu Amwa. And we also have BAME Festival. You know, that is happening, I think, this weekend also. Yes, and so we are looking at that as well. And then an artist or artiste, Ruth AJ, sings Mighty God. I think that is her new release. Right. So that is what we have on the front page. Speaking about Dirty December, I saw you giving some vibes. You are going to go outside.
What at all is Dirty December?
I don't even know.
I think it's just a way to let loose, not dirty yourself. Let's be responsible young people here. It's just a way to let loose. It's towards the end of the year. We have something to also celebrate. Then title given to it, I think it was not really something that really defines what will happen, even though certain people take it to the extreme. Yes, Clement.
I have a daily graphic. I think for me, I don't have the Dirty December, but I have a good one.
Clean December.
Exactly. So on the front page, you have a story that talks about 9 forest reserve reclaimed from illegal miners. So as I said, a very good one there. Yes, and the main story there is government plans 1 billion Ghana cedis Boko Recovery Fund, and also a very good story because yesterday, I think the Otumfuo and the Mediation Committee presented the report to President John Dramani Mahama, and on that basis, this pledge has been made to support the recovery of Boko. So these are the stories I have on Daily Graphic.
Right. So if you are looking to read more on this, you can get the Graphic Showbiz and the Daily Graphic for today. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. Thank you also for calling, and thank you for your comments as well. Up next is the sports segment with Benedict Nketia Kwarting. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for sports with Benedict Nkitia-Kwarteng. Good morning, Benedict.
Hello, good morning, Ira.
Yeah, so it's been a while. We've missed you.
Yes.
Hope you're well.
So, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
And how is everything here?
Yeah, so far so good. We're gearing up for Christmas.
Great, yes. So it's a festive season. So, I came this morning and then I saw the mood in the office. I saw the decorations and I was like, oh, this is great. This is looking good. Thank you guys for holding the fort for us.
Right.
Welcome back, viewers. This is Benedict Nkitia-Kwarteng and I'm here. Today we are going to talk about the sports update segment. Of course, we are bringing you nothing but the best in the world of sports. We are covering all the action, both local and international. Today is a wonderful day. Today is a great day because today marks the 3rd year by which Argentina won the World Cup. Argentina, I mean the best in football, the greatest of all time, Lionel Andres Messi won the World Cup. So today, 18th of December, we are celebrating the 3rd anniversary. That is the 3rd year by which Argentina won the World Cup. So yes, let me move straight to my stories for today. Area. So our first story has to do with South Africa beating Ghana 1-0 in a friendly match that happened over the weekend. So yeah, the Ghana Black Galaxies lost to Bafana. So this is in preparation for the AFCON games that is coming up in Morocco very soon, in a week or 2 weeks' time that it will start. So Ghana unfortunately did not qualify for the AFCON competition, but then again we have South Africa who qualified, and then in preparation for their games, they decided to play against the Ghana Black Galaxies. Normally, you're supposed to play against the national team itself, but then this is the local team of the Ghana Black Stars. So these gentlemen face the Bafana. They are on the same level when it comes to strength and then when it comes to productivity for the national team. So the Black Galaxies faced Bafana in South Africa. They played and then, of course, they were able to hold themselves to a 0-0 draw in the first half. And then, unfortunately, the Bafana boys decided to press harder. And in the second half, I think 10 minutes, right in the second half, they were able to equalize. They scored a goal and that was what happened. That was what was carried throughout the rest of the game. So yes, South Africa won by 1-0 against the Ghana Black Galaxies. It was quite an interesting game because you realize that both teams showed resilience. Both teams were not ready to concede. Unfortunately, the Ghana team conceded, but then there again they played very well. They played better in terms of the performances we've known that they've been showing off up front. But then I don't want us to be accepting failure with regards to they played better than yesterday, even though they failed. This is not, we are not accepting mediocrity here. We want to encourage the boys. We want wins. You have to win your games, whether it is for fun, whether it's a friendly game, whether it's for the tournament, because we have the World Cup coming up. And then I believe, yes, we have the squad for the World Cup, for the Black Stars. But if these boys perform better, the Black Galaxies, I think there is an opening for them to join the senior national team, the Ghana Black Stars, to go and then compete in the World Cup. So yeah, South Africa is in the group with Angola, Egypt, and Zimbabwe. So I think this was a good preparation for them towards the AFCON competition that is coming up. It's starting in December. Yes, South Africa is playing their first match on 22nd December. So this is actually a good thing for them as they prepare for their AFCON competition. So yeah, let me move straight ahead to the Black Stars, like I'm talking about. The Black Stars, the senior national team, they want to test their strength against Germany ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So like I was saying earlier, we have the FIFA World Cup that is coming up next year, God willing, 2026 in USA, Canada and Mexico. So yes, the Ghana Black Stars have decided to organize a friendly game against Germany. Our friends, let me put it that way. We've known them for some time. We've been playing against them for some time. I think this is the third time we are playing against Germany. We played them in the 1990s. We played them where it was a friendly game where we lost 6-0, 6-1, thereabouts. And then we played them again in the 2010 World Cup where they won against us, 1-0 against us. And we played them again in 2014. That's also in the World Cup. That was one of the best games the Black Stars had played in the World Cup. It was actually adjourned the best game in the tournament so far. So we played them 2-2. And in that game, anybody who witnessed the game could attest to the fact that we could have won this game against Germany. It was quite clear, but then of course experience and then better tactics and then better experienced players overtook us, and then we drew the game. But there again, we are playing a friendly. We are playing a friendly next year on the 30th of March. We are playing a friendly. So hopefully we can perform better than we've performed in the other games. Sorry, so we lost 6-1. I've just been corrected. We lost 6-1 against Germany. That was in 1993. Yes. So yeah, let me come back to our preparation. So yeah, we will be playing Germany in preparation for the World Cup. We have been paired with the likes of Croatia, Panama, and England for the World Cup in Group L. So yes, we have tough competitors with the likes of England. England is one of the best teams in the World Cup so far. We have Croatia. Croatia is also one of the very strong teams, strong sides to play against. And we have Panama. I don't think in our group we have any underdogs. But then again, this is football. Football is evolving. Anything can happen. So we are not going to relax. We are not going to slack. We will go into this friendly game against Germany with all the players that we need, the players that we have, with all the tactics that we can have. Coach Otuado, we are looking to you. We hope that you perform better. And then of course, the German coach, Julian Nagelsmann, also said that we are very much looking forward to the clash with Otu's team. Their strong transition play can give us a taste of what to expect in the World Cup group match against Ivory Coast. So Germany is in the same group with Ivory Coast, and of course we have the same kind of gameplay with the Ivorians. So Germany is actually looking for a loophole when it comes to playing against Ivory Coast. So they are hoping to find those loopholes when they play against the Ghana Black Stars in March next year. Let me move on to our next story for today. So yes, FIFA has opened investigation into DR Congo's players' eligibility amid nationality concerns. So yes, Nigeria, my fellow brethren, I just came back from there a few days ago. I just came back from Nigeria a few days ago. And it's sad. It's sad. Hearing this news pop up, I wish it had come out when I was back in Nigeria, because I had a lot of people that were deliberating on sports, were deliberating on football, were talking about World Cup and the NAFCON and all that. And unfortunately, this news came up when I had returned to Ghana. No problem. I'll still reach out to them. Of course. How do you want to use the back door to qualify for a World Cup? I mean, come on. There is no way. I mean, yes, this is an investigation going on by FIFA to find out if truly DR Congo fielded ineligible players for the game against Nigeria. It's an investigation that is going on. But then I don't think DR Congo would risk a World Cup qualification by fielding on ineligible players just like that. And there is no way they will play the game if they have not been given the go-ahead. Right. So this is what is happening. We have some black Americans, blacks who are in Europe, who were born in Europe and all those things. So yes, some of them decided to naturalize back to where, their roots. Yeah. So we have the likes of Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, a very good...
I think I've heard that name.
Yes, a very good defender. Right. And then, yes, he has naturalized back for DR Congo. But according to Nigeria and then the reports, that is the Federation of Nigeria, players like Wan-Bissaka, Axel Twanzebe, Ata Masauko did not switch nationalities without renouncing their original citizenships. So the original citizenship means where they were in Europe. Yeah. They didn't renounce their citizenships, and then they came into DR Congo to come and play. That means they have dual citizenship. Okay. And with the likes of football, you can't have dual citizenship to play for a national team. It's not allowed. So these players were supposed to renounce them and play. But I don't think players like... Let me put just Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka is in the limelight. He plays for West Ham. He's played for Manchester United. He's played for bigger clubs. Manchester United is playing for West Ham now. So, this gentleman is in the limelight. He's in the spotlight. There is no way he would do something like this and it wouldn't come out. But then again, Nigerian Federation of the Football Federation of Nigeria decided to send petition to FIFA that these players did not renounce their citizenship, and then that means they have dual citizenship, and then they are playing for DR Congo. So the team has to be banned. That means when this happens, when truly DR Congo fielded ineligible players, that means that Nigeria will automatically qualify to the finals of the Confederation Intercontinental playoffs that is happening, where they will play against the other teams from either Jamaica or one other team I've forgotten. They will play against them to be able to qualify for the World Cup, to partake in the World Cup. But I don't think this is a clear-cut way for Nigeria. You've lost the game. Just move on. You have African Cup of Nations coming up. Concentrate on the AFCON.
And your agenda against
Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria, they know me already. I get feedbacks on my X account, my TikTok account, my Instagram. Yeah, I talk to some of them. I have friends from Nigeria, a lot of them. So yeah, we banter a lot. So DR Congo responded to Nigeria. Let me read it. They said that if you can't win, and I quote, if you can't win on the pitch, don't try to win from the back door. The World Cup has to be played with dignity and confidence, not with lawyers' tricks. I mean, this is a big shot. They're trying to tell Nigerians that they don't have dignity, and then they lack confidence to play the World Cup. They have these qualities, and then they have qualified for the World Cup. And you guys are trying to, get in through the back door by bringing in lawyers. I mean, this is football. There's something that has to be fun. We have to entertain ourselves. Now you're bringing in the law, and all that. But then these are Nigerians for you. They carry last. Nigerians, they carry last, but then again, they are carrying last. So my brethren Nigerians, I don't know what to tell you, but just hope and pray it works out for you, because if it doesn't, that means another agenda has come up. You went to appeal and you didn't win. You'll be sorry, my Nigerian brethren. Yeah, so let me move on to my last story for today. So my last story has to do with FIFA slashing some of the 2026 World Cup tickets prices after they receiving a backlash. So yes, Ghanaians spoke, they complained, not just Ghanaians, I mean fans, football fans around the world decided to complain about the prices of the tickets that are being sold out there to the teams that have, the national teams that have qualified for the World Cup, for the 2026 World Cup. And then, of course, the tickets were expensive. If I say expensive, they really are. We had the likes of $1,200, $1,800, $2,000, $2,500, and as much as I think $3,000 for some games in the World Cup. So you realize that it was expensive, but then again, we sent appeals, Ghana included. We sent appeals. There was a lot of backlash when the ticket prices came out, and then they have actually listened to us. So this is exclusively to the countries that have qualified for the World Cup. There's been slashes for the FIFA 2026 FIFA World Cup tickets, but it's exclusively for those who have qualified. If you haven't qualified and you want to go and watch, you enjoy, the discount wouldn't be that much. You still pay some of the prices that are available. But then if you have qualified, I think the least for Ghana's game, I think one of the least prices they have to pay is $60. $60 is about 600, between 600 to 700 cedis for a game. So you can pay these kind of amounts for some of the games that will go on in the World Cup. So I think it's actually good news for some of us, most of us, especially those who want to go and watch the games in USA, Mexico, or Canada. We are playing very soon, so I know we are preparing. People are applying for their visas. People are putting in their visa applications. I would entreat you all to invest in the tickets as well, because you can't apply for a visa without buying tickets. Very soon, the Football Association of Ghana will bring in the tickets. You can purchase the tickets. It will be part of your application documents when you're applying for the visa. Because without the tickets, I don't think you have a reason for going. They will not give you the visa. So yes, the ticket prices has been slashed. So hopefully people can pay as low as $60 to join this competition, to witness this competition. So yes, it's good news for all of us, good news for most of us. This is it. I think, yeah, I'm done for the sports update segments. Thank you very much, viewers. And then we are in the festive season, so I want to use this opportunity to wish our viewers out there a Merry Christmas in advance and a prosperous New Year, upcoming New Year that is coming up. 2026 is going to be great. Stay tuned, be with us, continue to watch us. We are going to give you the best when it comes to programs, shows, entertainment, and all that you need. Thank you, viewers, for your comments, your likes, and then sharing our links out there. Yara, thank you very much for having me today.
All right, thank you also for the sports update. So let's take the birthday wishes that we have. And this is your chance to also send us your birthday wishes. Wish your loved ones any shout outs, especially as Christmas is coming. If you want to send any wishes, please do send them to us and we will read them here on the Koko Digest Morning Show. So let's get into the birthday segment.
I heard today was your birthday.
Now, let's take the very first birthday wish. Benedict, you may have to also join me to read some of them. Yes, let's have the first one. So this one is to Andy. So this one says, happy birthday, Andy. Wishing you big wins, great health, endless joy, and good vibes today and always. Enjoy your special day to the fullest. This is from the Clog TV team. Happy birthday, Andy. Next, we have, so this is our very own, yes, Benedict, your man.
Chapter, Albert, popularly known as Chapter. Happy birthday in advance, Chapter. May this new year unlock bigger wins, bold moves, and endless vibes. This is from the Clock TV team, and of course, from myself too. Happy birthday in advance to you, Chapter. God bless you.
Thank you so much. And then the last one, this one is saying happy glorious birthday to Gilbert Adeteju, wishing you continued blessings and even more successful contracts in your football journey. This is from JDad and the JDad Gets Fit family. Thank you so much for sharing your birthday wishes with us, and we hope to get more from you as the festive season begins. Spread the love, spread the joy. Up next is the business segment with Clement Yabankwe. Do stay tuned.
Good morning, welcome to the Business Update segment. I am Clement Yabankwe. Now on to our today's stories. The Governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, has reaffirmed the Central Bank's commitment to consolidating recent regulatory and monetary sector gains while rolling out new reform to strengthen the banking industry.
Speaking after a meeting with managing directors of commercial banks following the latest MPC meeting, he said the BOG will focus on prudent regulation, stronger supervision, improved risk management, good governance, and adequate capitalization while promoting innovation and financial inclusion. He also urged banks to support national development priorities, especially SMEs. The engagement comes as Ghana works to restore microeconomic stability and strengthen confidence in the financial system.
Away from that, producer price inflation slowed slightly to 1.3% in November 2025 from 1.4% in October, according to data from the Ghana Statistical Service, confirming a continued easing of cost pressures at the factory gates.
On a year-on-year basis, ex-factory prices rose by 1.3% between November 2024 and November 2025, representing a sharp decline of 25.7 percentage points compared to the same period a year earlier. The moderation reflects a 1.9% month-on-month fall in producer prices between October and November. Sectorial movements were mixed. Mining and quarrying saw producer inflation rise to 2.3% from 0.7%, while manufacturing eased sharply to 0.5% from 2.5%. Producer inflation in transport and storage remained negative, declining further to negative 9.0%. Within manufacturing, price pressures varied, with higher inflation recorded in leather and textile production, while prices for coke and refined petroleum products fell over the period.
Now, on fuel prices for the last pricing window of December, several oil marketing companies have started lowering fuel prices following industry forecast. Vivo Energy, that is Shell, led the way, reducing petrol from 12 Ghana cedis 69 pesos to 12 Ghana cedis 50 pesos per litre, and diesel from 13 Ghana cedis 22 pesos to 12 Ghana cedis 99 pesos. Petrosol has followed suit, cutting petrol to 12 Ghana cedis 48 pesos per litre and diesel to the same price.
More OMCs anticipate further reductions by the week's end. According to an outlook report from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, petrol prices could drop by 1.64% to 3.89%, potentially reaching 12 Ghana cedis 90 pesos per litre, while diesel may fall 4.59% to about 13 Ghana cedis 20 pesos. The projected decreases are attributed to falling international prices for finished petroleum products, despite a slight increase in crude oil costs and the marginal depreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar.
This is all we have for you for the Business Update segment. Thank you for staying with us. I am Clement Yabankwe. Do enjoy the rest of the show.
You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for our main discussion, and we're going to be talking about road safety during the festivities. So even as we are enjoying the Christmas festivities, let's not get carried away. Let us also be mindful of our actions and inactions. And joining me today is an official from the National Road Safety Authority in the person of Mr. Felix Owusu. He is the acting regional head at the National Road Safety Authority Greater Accra region. Now, let me take a brief summary of what we're going to talk about so you get a fair idea. The phone lines are open, so you can call and ask your questions. And if you also like to text us, you can send us a message via WhatsApp. That's the number on your screen will be displayed. And then also the YouTube or Facebook live stream is also available, so you can send your questions there as well. So road safety becomes even more critical during the festive season as roads become busier with increased travel, family visits and social activities, which often lead to speeding, fatigue and careless driving. In response, the National Road Safety Authority of Ghana continues to intensify public education, monitoring and enforcement in collaboration with other stakeholders, while urging drivers, passengers and pedestrians to obey traffic regulations, avoid risky behaviors, ensure vehicles are roadworthy, and speak up against unsafe driving so that everyone can celebrate Christmas and return home safely. Now, let's get acquainted with Mr. Felix Owusu. Good morning.
Good morning, Ira.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a while we saw you. I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm good. I hope you're doing well too.
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. So, quickly into the conversation, we want to keep safe, during the Christmas festivities. What is the main thing you would like to tell viewers?
Right. So first of all, good morning to you and your crew. And also I want to say a very good morning to my Acting Director General, Mr. Abraham Amaleba, all my colleagues at the National Road Safety Authority and all our viewers out there. So as you rightly put it, per observations and trends, over the years, we have seen that during this period, the Christmas and other festive occasions, road traffic crashes and their resultant injuries and fatalities increase on our roads. And as you mentioned, in your introduction, these are these crashes come about as a result of increased vehicular movement, as you mentioned earlier. And so all these things also come with some other behaviors that we the road users, put up on our roads. So typically with drivers, because they also see this as their peak period, now they want to do all the increased number of trips to be able to also make some money, good money, to be able to feed their family, buy whatever they need to buy. And of course, we as travelers, we are moving from one point to the other, whether we are going to our hometown to join our families to celebrate. And then also have a lot of us also, attending some programs, and all those things also come with some merrymaking.
Yeah.
People sometimes drinking, and after drinking, they still sit behind the steering wheel to drive. And all those things are things that increase the likelihood of crashes on our roads. And yeah, people also, because it's like a busy period, so most people also do not even pay attention to their vehicles. Instead of them to take their vehicles to maybe the workshop, maybe the servicing time is due, but they'll be like, oh, let's go through the period or the season after. Then you take the vehicles to the workshop. But sometimes if you're not lucky, all these things can lead to the crashes we see on our roads.
So as NRSA, do you have statistics maybe that you have accumulated over the years where you can actually identify the usual causes of crashes, especially during this time of the year?
Yes, so as like I mentioned, you have stated most of even the causes already in your submission, and you mentioned the increased vehicular movement. That one, so fatigue comes in. Yeah, because as I mentioned originally, let's say you were supposed to do maybe 1 trip a day or 2 a day, but because of the increased number of traffic, passengers who are willing to travel. If originally we were doing 2, now we are doing in excess maybe 3 times or twice the number. And so once fatigue sets in, yes, you may end up even sleeping behind the steering wheel, and that would increase the likelihood of a crash. And also, speeding is also one other thing, because you come to a terminal, typically there are a number of passengers there, so you want to quickly go to Kumasi and return. So that one also prompts some people. And sometimes, too, because of some of these things, you'll be driving maybe a traffic build-up on a stretch, and once maybe you go beyond where the traffic is, you want to speed to be able to make up for the lost time, and all those things are what we are talking about. And then the insecure loading and overloading. Yeah, so like I mentioned, all these things. So during December, for instance, you see that our road traffic crashes increase during December, and so this year, if we all do not, put our hands together to work around it, it's going to be, the situation is going to be, it's going to follow that same trend as we have been observing over the years.
All right. So, what risky behaviors would you advise, viewers to refrain from indulging in?
Yeah. So the first thing we all talk about is excessive speeding or over speeding, as most people may call it, because in all the fatal crashes. When we say fatal crashes, it's a crash that has occurred and someone has died through that crash. So that is called a fatal crash. And so I don't think any crash, there will be a fatal crash if there's no speed involved in whatever mode of transport the person is engaged in. And so the first thing we want to say is we should always stay within the legal or the posted speed limits on our roads. They are there for a reason. We are not just there for decoration. Okay, so typically if you're on a highway and you're supposed to do per the general speed limits, which is regulation 163 of the LI 2180, if you're supposed to do 90 kilometers per hour on our roads, we are supposed to observe. And even with that, the regulation 164, which is a specific speed limit, is just telling us if you're a commercial vehicle, passenger carrying for fee paying, you cannot do the 90 as the normal vehicles are doing. Normal saloon vehicles. Once you're passenger carrying, yours is the maximum you can go is 80 kilometers per hour. But some of these things, I am sure most of the motorists do not know about this particular restriction or regulation. And so through this medium, we use that to educate the general public about their responsibilities on the road. And so apart from the speeding, we're also talking about distracted driving, the use of alcohol and drugs. Alcohol and drugs or also driving. Some people, because they also want to stay awake and do a number of trips, they want to maybe enhance their natural ability by maybe taking some energy drinks and some other chemicals that we don't even know the component, and all those things. Once the body is tired, it's natural. You have to rest. Okay, and then even the law even states that when you drive continuously for 4 hours, you are supposed to take mandatory rest. Okay, it is compulsory. It is not optional. It is compulsory that when you drive after every 4 hours, you are supposed to break your drive and then take mandatory 30 minutes rest, or you can do 2 hours and do 15 minutes rest. That is also allowed. Okay. And then even the law goes on to say that in a day, you have 24 hours in a day. You cannot drive for more than 8 hours in a day. Yes, so all these things are some regulations or standards put in place to ensure safety on our road. Then we are also talking about the insecure loading, and you see it all over. Yeah. Sometimes you're on the road and you see a vehicle that do not have a carrier, and it's not supposed to even put any load on the road, but you see it, and then the way they pack luggages, even the boots, and even opening which is also not allowed. You see, sometimes I ask myself, I have even witnessed some instances where you be following such vehicles, and then sometimes the load even in the vehicles even drop. So imagine if you are speeding behind such vehicle, what happens? Definitely there'll be a crash.
Right.
Yeah, so these are some of the things we are speaking against.
So it seems you have a lot more attention on the commercial drivers. What about the ordinary citizen who is out here for enjoyment? What are some of the risky behaviors that you think they should also not, partake in?
Yeah, no, in fact, it's not only about commercial. As for speeding, it's not only commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, so when it comes to speeding, in fact, it's even the private vehicles, because when you check the category of vehicles contributing to the crashes on our roads, I think the private vehicles are rather leading when it comes to the number of crashes.
Okay.
Yes, so it tells you that, yes, most of the private vehicles are also engaged or involved in these road traffic crashes as we are talking about. So it's not only the commercial vehicles. And also, apart from the speeding, the private vehicles, like as I mentioned, partying and then drunk driving, all those things are some of the behaviors we see with regards to private or those who drive private vehicles.
Okay. So what responsibility do commercial drivers have towards passengers and pedestrians?
Yes, so in fact, as a commercial vehicle or commercial transport operator, let me put it in, as the group in general, there's a responsibility, or they have a lot of responsibilities. Now, apart from you taking care of or making sure the vehicle that you're operating is safe, is roadworthy, you're also supposed to ensure the safety of your passengers, because it's like a social contract. Somebody has paid money for you to take the person to their destination safely. So the onus is on you, that now the one in charge of the vehicle, to take the person to their destination safely. Okay, and also, in fact, by extension, the commercial operators also have the unions and the various companies. Those are managing those commercial vehicles, and so we also expect them to do what we call self-regulation.
Okay.
So once the members operating under you, if you're able to regulate them, some of these infractions we are talking about, we are not going to experience them once they come on the road. And so if you're able to check them in-house, now they come onto the road, and then it gives us less work to do as law enforcers. The police, the National Road Safety Authority. So we want to advocate to all our transport operators to self-regulate their members, so that, most of the things that these drivers, because as we're talking about insecure and overloading, for instance, all these vehicles leave the terminal. And at the terminal, there are executives, there are union leaders, and all those people there. The leaders are there. But if you watch on for a vehicle to load in that capacity, and then they come onto the road, what happens? Now they are even arrest, and then some of these people will not even come in and interfere.
Yeah.
And all those things do not augur well for us as a country.
That being said, do you think that there are mistakes that drivers on the road also make, especially during this season?
Yeah. So if you are talking about mistakes, yeah. So even driving beyond these are all yes, they are mistakes, and the wrongful overtaking. Yes, wrongful overtaking is another thing which we should not even lose sight of. I believe all drivers know where they are not even supposed to overtake. They are, when you ask them, when you engage them and ask them, where are you not supposed to overtake as a driver? They're able to mention the areas, like in a curve, on the crest of a mountain, on a narrow bridge, even when you are in town, and then even when you are approaching a speed hump, all those places, they know that they are not supposed to overtake. But what do we see on our roads? So it is purely indiscipline.
Okay, so is there anything that you think that drivers must make sure to remember in this Christmas season at all times when they are on the road?
Most definitely. So one thing is, aside knowing that there are rules and regulations on the road, we should also know, in fact, their families also need them alive. In fact, recently my Director General made an appeal that he would have wished all drivers especially those who even have families, they will print a picture of their family, their wives, their kids, and paste it on the dashboard, so that anytime they are driving, they see their family. They'll begin to behave well on our roads, because if you do anything that can lead to a crash, you may not return to see your family. And so these are some of the things we are talking about.
All right. Okay. So sometimes in the night the road is free. It's like there isn't so much pressure, and then drivers are, feeling like, okay, I can utilize. I don't need to go within the speed limit. Do you think it is something that they should continue, or they should actually refrain from?
No. So unfortunately, in fact, the posted speed limits on our roads do not change whether it's day or night.
Okay.
It's fixed. So if it's 50 kilometers per hour, it means if during the day you are doing 50, in the night you are supposed to even do the same. And even in the night, because visibility is limited, even those are the times you are even supposed to reduce your speed, because during the day at least you have a broader view. You can see. I mean, to a larger extent you can see around. But in the night, your vision is reduced, and coupled with the fact that most of our roads do not even have street lights. And so around that is the time we are even expected to do, or even further reduce our speed, so that in case there's anything comes up, any eventuality happens, you'll be able to, once you have reduced your speed or within the posted speed limit, you'll be able to react on time and then save the situation.
Right. Okay. So it means that during the day, during the night, speed limits remains. But then the long distance, routes, people want to travel. People are on their way to go and meet their families and go and celebrate. And sometimes passengers themselves, driver, tiaso kakre. What would you say to that?
Yeah, so like as I mentioned, we all have responsibilities. The various road user groups, whether you're a driver, you're a passenger, you're a pedestrian, you're a motor rider, we all have responsibilities. So as a passenger, in fact, it's one of the things we also speak against, that if you are a passenger in a car, you do not distract the driver, or you do not instruct the driver as to what to do. Apart from the fact, sometimes we tell them that when the driver is doing anything that can lead to a crash, that one you have every right to speak up. Okay. You have every right to speak up. I.e., if the driver is maybe wrongfully overtaking, excessively speeding, using mobile phone while driving, all those ones, as a passenger, you have every right to speak against it, but also in a tone or in a manner, or in a respectable manner. Now, there's the other side, which is, as a passenger, you are also not supposed to distract the driver when he or she is, behind the steering wheel. That is, we've received several complaints where passengers sit in the car and then they are instructing the driver to speed, and mainly because maybe, sometimes some of them go and sit in the car, and then they themselves give themselves time that, maybe in 2 hours I have to be in Kumasi. And mind you, the road is not for you. Okay, and then you don't even know what's happening on that road. So if the driver in charge of the driver who has received training is in charge of the vehicle and then behind the steering, please let's respect that driver and give him that is also his office, and because he has been trained, he knows what to do to get you to your destination safely.
Right.
Okay, so and a driver also has every right to report a passenger who distracts the driver, because you are seeing that when one is driving, you have to concentrate fully on anything that takes the attention of the driver from the road, which is not part of the driving. It's a form of distraction. And we've seen some crashes happen as a result of a driver trying to engage a passenger while the vehicle was in motion. And that landed them in a ditch, killing about more than 10 people dying from that crash.
Wow. So I want to ask this as also a passenger, that when the driver is engaged in some misbehavior on the road, let's say speeding or wrongful overtaking, where does distraction end and where does, sort of reprimanding the driver also begin? Because he's driving, he's probably speeding so much, he needs to concentrate, and then I'm probably shouting at him saying, driver, slow down. How do I, as a passenger, know the limits as to how to get the driver to do the right thing?
Yeah, so as we are saying, you do not even have to even shout at the driver. Like I mentioned, you have to do that in a polite way or manner. And so once you say that to the driver, oh driver, please slow down. I think you are speeding too much. And even the person does not even mind you. Do not continue to engage.
But
that's why we are
the
saying
matter
that
of urgency and the fear.
So sometimes that's why you also have to get some contacts, or even if you get to a barrier, police barrier, you can as well report the driver that this is what. And then also even at the terminals where we go to pick, we can also get contacts of even their executives, because as we are saying, we expect them to self-regulate their people. So these executives also have to make their numbers available, so that if in case of anything, they can report to them. Okay, so once they are reporting to them, then they will take it up. Or they can also report to the National Road Safety Authority. But normally, what we do not also want to encourage is, some people, if you are reporting something, you also have to come with evidence. Okay, because if we are to follow any complaints at all, I'm sure some people will be coming to you with all sorts of complaints, which may not even qualify. So please, in as much as we are talking about it, before you make such complaint, make sure you also have some form of evidence, so that in case we want to even use that one to prosecute the driver, it will be very easier for us to do so.
So I think I would like you to also touch on safety measures that drivers should incorporate, especially in this season, so that they remember some of these things and do.
Yeah, so as drivers, as we are, already within the season, one of the things we want to do is make sure before you even get up and wake up, sit behind your steering wheel, do what we call the pre-trip inspections.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to check whether your vehicle is everything. You've checked your fluids, your fluids. You have your engine oil. You check your water level and all those things, and then also check the pressures in your tire and even the tire itself, whether there are no cracks in the tires. Because you can buy a tire today, it is new, but the next day anything at all can happen. Once we are on our roads, anything can happen, and the vehicle, its condition as well. Or make sure the vehicle you are using is roadworthy. Okay, and those are some of the things. And also make sure you also have your fire extinguisher, your warning triangle, and then even first aid kits I'm talking about first warning triangle because some crashes have occurred on our roads because the drivers fail to display their advanced warning triangle, warning other motorists of a danger ahead, and people do not see. And they also run into it, killing several other people. So warning triangle, even though it is not expensive, but its importance is very huge. Okay, so please always get two, and it's two, a pair of warning triangle. Not just
so one for the front.
So one in front, and then one also behind. And if you want to place the warning triangle, the law does not state that place it on the vehicle. It should be at least 45 meters is okay. So within 45, 50 meters from the vehicle, it's fine. Do not place your warning triangle right behind the vehicle or on top of the vehicle. That is not how to place.
Okay, let's come to the National Road Safety Authority. So what has the National Road Safety Authority put in place to improve road safety this Christmas?
All right, thank you. So, National Road Safety Authority, as we've always been doing, it is not only Christmas that we do put in measures. Our intervention, road safety intervention starts all the way. It's throughout the year. Okay. Yes, but around the festive season and occasions, we enhance or intensify whatever we do. So we've started already. From the beginning of the year, where we do our normal education, and sometimes we do some joint enforcement with our colleagues, the MTTD and other stakeholders. So yes, we have started already engaging some of the driver unions, visiting some stations, engaging some we also had a stakeholder meeting where we meet all the categories of road users. And even this morning, I'm coming from Circle where we're doing what we call in-traffic road safety education. So with that one, we are not only targeting commercial vehicles, but also the private vehicles.
Okay.
And then the passengers in the vehicle, because we also speak to them as well. And for them to know their responsibilities on the motor side, motor riders, lest I forget. Yes, so the motor riders. Yes, so they're all part of the road user class that we educate. So those are some of the, and then even from next week, we are also looking at even not even tomorrow. For instance, we are doing what we call a pre-trip inspection, even at the terminals. Okay, so we go to the terminals. We check as part of the measures that we are putting in place. That we go to the terminals and we check the vehicles that are loading, whether they have conducted their pre-trip inspections, and we also speak to those in charge. The drivers and then the passengers.
Yeah.
For them to know their responsibilities to ensure that we all arrive at our destination. And then from next week, we're also looking at teaming up with the police MTTD and to be on some of the major highways, to be doing joint also education and enforcement, checking speeding, the insecure loading I mentioned, and the condition of the vehicle, the tires and all that. So we are going to do that from next week as well.
Okay, so if a passenger feels unsafe in the car, what should they do? Maybe, do they have to get down? Do they have to talk to the driver or something?
Yeah, and so, in fact, there are times, like you said, you even want to talk to the driver, and there are other passengers in the vehicle who would even want to shut you up. It happens. And so we also want to, appeal to all our, road users that once you're in the vehicle and if you're not going to talk and somebody masters the courage to engage the driver, the rest of you should not even shut the person up. Even sometimes when we are doing this joint education, even in traffic, you stop the vehicle, the driver has even stopped, and the passengers would rather be insulting you, the officer doing. But we should know that all these things are obstructions, which, but it's like most of the time, because we don't follow up. Because if you obstruct an officer from carrying out his official duty, he can be arrested and prosecuted. And this is something that we should know. But it's because most of the time we ignore. People think there are no laws in this country, but there are laws. Okay. And National Road Safety Authority, for instance, if you obstruct an officer from carrying out his duty, the penalty is very high. It's very high. So please, if you see us doing that, right, the least you can do is just to cooperate, but not to obstruct us.
All right. Okay. So I think one of the reasons the passengers tend to also insult the driver or the officer who's trying to do this education is that maybe they feel like this is not the right time because they are on their way to one place or the other. So how then does the NRSA draw the distinction or try to find some middle ground where they can educate drivers and also not, quote unquote, waste passengers' time?
Yeah, so thank you. So as we, these are strategies we always come up with because yes, there are times you also go to the terminal and you see the thing is you cannot always just use one medium to reach out to everybody.
Right.
Yes, today we are here on TV, but ask yourself, so do you think everybody in Ghana here is watching our station? No. In as much as we are doing this, I know some people may be watching, others may be at the terminal, others may be on the road. And so there are times you go to the terminal to do road safety education, all right? Then you ask yourself, so how about those also already on their way to wherever they are going? Yes, so that's why sometimes you also, instead of going to the terminal, we want to hit the road. And on the road, we're able to get, section of all the road user, like the private vehicles are there. And see, sometimes I say, do not think, do you know sometimes even we stopping you, that 1 minute that you think we are wasting may even end up saving your life. Yes, sometimes when you are there doing all these things, sometimes you even identify some faults maybe with the vehicle. And those are the times we even help to correct. Sometimes you may stop a vehicle, maybe the driver is tired already. Okay, but the mere fact that we have stopped the driver and engaged the driver, the person may be sleeping or dozing off whilst, but once we stop the person and engage the driver, the person is able to, sometimes you get down walk around your vehicle and all those things help you to keep the driver, active.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's always be, not be too. And I think sometimes the reason why some of them also get angry and is not just because we are wasting their time, but they think anybody at all who stops maybe a driver on the way is there to maybe collect money or something. Yeah, so sometimes when I say we made the idea, it's about, but it is not all about. We, National Road Safety Authority, do not engage in those things, even though sometimes the drivers, they themselves willingly try because they think now they've come to accept that it is not the norm. So I always blame even drivers who do that. That once, whether a police officer, whoever stops you, wait for the person to engage you. You don't know the reason why the person stops. So, but what we see on our roads, as soon as you stop them, they will rather want to offer to give you something, which shouldn't be the case.
So beyond drivers, how can maybe pedestrians, passengers, cyclists, and others also, help to reduce the road accidents?
Yeah. So as we mentioned, as for if you're a passenger, as we mentioned, if the driver is doing anything that you think can put your life in danger, you have every right to speak against this. Now, as pedestrians, we also have a lot to play, a lot of responsibilities also lie on us. Now, we are saying that as a pedestrian, there is not anywhere at all on the road that you can even cross. There are designated places you can cross. Once those things, those infrastructure are provided, you have to use them. If you don't use them and you do otherwise, that constitutes what jaywalking, which is punishable. Okay. And so if you have a zebra crossing, the crosswalks are there, the traffic lights are there, Pelican, footbridge is there. Please, let's always make sure we use and I would also want to use this opportunity to educate our people. When you're those who are very conversant with the La Paz area, yeah, so we know now they are constructing DUR, as Department of Urban Roads, through the government of Ghana. They've now constructed a newly constructed footbridge, which is yet to be commissioned. Okay, so because this week I think I've even heard some media people talk about the fact that there's a footbridge and at the same time there's a traffic light. It is because the footbridge has not been commissioned. That is why the traffic light is still working. So once, and I'm told by next week it's going to be commissioned. So once we commission the footbridge, the traffic light will be decommissioned and then removed from it so that we can all use the footbridge. So please, once it is commissioned and open to us as general public, let's use the footbridge. It's not only La Paz, any other place that we have there, such facilities, please let's use them. And then, so talking about the drivers, now the passengers and
cyclists, commuters,
the pedestrians. Now the motor riders especially. I'm passionate about motor riders because when you also now query the statistics, we have realized that most of the people who are dying from motorcycle-related fatalities or crashes are high as compared to the private vehicles and even the commercial vehicles. Even when you come to Greater Accra, the situation is being worse. I mean, when I checked, the last time I checked, the number of motorcycle-related fatalities is more than that of the private and commercial vehicles combined.
Wow.
So in the Greater Accra, typically, motorcycle-related crashes consist about almost 55% of people who are dying in Greater Accra.
This is really, really bad. But I want to ask again, before I take your final message from the NRC, about this double parking sort of thing, especially because of how crowded the city is going to be due to the festivities. What are some of the ways that maybe we can try to reduce those things and the likelihood of a crash later on?
All right, so double parking,
like, you see how the cars become so cramped up in small spaces. Like, let's say you go to Osu, you want to go and have some fun, and everywhere is choked with cars being parked. How is there anything that we can do to reduce that so that maybe as you're getting out, you don't hit somebody or hit another person's car or something?
Yeah, I think it's first of all has to do with the drivers, or those in charge of the vehicle. So, if you do A, B, C, D, it's going to cost or increase the traffic flow. I don't think when you see a vehicle, let's say you're traveling, I mean, you're on a stretch, and you've seen that, I mean, almost all the vehicles are parked on one side of the stretch, and only you go and park on the opposite side. And when you do that, you are reducing the roadway.
Yeah.
And also, I also want to use the opportunity to appeal to, I mean, whether it's an event, whatever, whether it's a pub and all those places, the owners of the shops and the various shops, we should also have, sometimes we know they have security or other traffic warding who also assist in doing it. And also the assemblies all these things happen within one assembly or the other. And they also have their municipal guards and others who should be helping to do some of these things to be able to reduce crashes. But sometimes what we see is, sometimes some of the assemblies, some of them are doing very well. Some of them are doing well. With the introduction of what we call the District Road Safety Committee, some of them are doing very well because their work is to identify road safety challenges and use local interventions to be able to solve them. It shouldn't always be about money generation. The attention, because I've queried most assembly and their task force, what they have road safety something on. When you ask them what are they doing, the only thing they're just interested in just collecting money, wrongful, parking, and then they can just come and clamp your vehicle and take money. But what other interventions, like you mentioned, helping to or assisting vehicles to park well and all those things should be their priority. If there are vehicles that have broken down and then left unattended to, you are supposed to tow the vehicles to a safety, not just concentrate on the money.
Right.
Yeah, so that is what, but like I said, some of the assemblies are also, doing very well. And the motorcycles, maybe I just want to chip in this. Recently or somewhere last week, we heard that Parliament has passed the act for that's legalizing the use of motorcycles for commercial or passenger carrying. Yes, that is true. But I think after we heard this news, it seems some of the motor riders have taken, or they think that is all. But I keep saying that is just the beginning of the conversation. Now, the amendment has been made to now include motorcycles as part of our commercial act, the use of motorcycles for commercial. And then also the age limit in the act has been also amended from 25 years to 21 years.
Yeah.
But like I said, that is not all. Now, there's a whole road traffic regulations, okay? And that we're also working on to operationalize the act. And that one too is also what's approved. It spells out the various responsibilities of whoever is in charge when it comes to the use of motorcycles. So they have the unions, the responsibilities for the unions, even the regulators as the National Road Safety Authority are responsibilities, the unions, the owners of the motorcycles, the riders, and even those who sit behind the pillion riders. We all have responsibility. That the regulation have spelled out all our responsibilities. So please, let's all wait till the regulation is also passed. Then, but I'm sure within or moving forward, we are going to engage the various stakeholders to be able to know their responsibility even before the law comes into being.
Right. Okay, so finally, I would like to ask for your final words, on behalf of the National Road Safety Authority to the general public and, all road users with regards to the festivities.
Right. So, National Road Safety Authority, once again, we want to say that the crashes that occur mostly during these periods are not caused by any evil spirits, as most people may want to call it that. And during Christmas, maybe there are some spirits on our roads looking for blood. No,
yes,
there are no spirits.
Sacrifice.
It is our own behavior and the kind of things we demonstrate on our roads. Those are the things that lead to the crashes we see on our roads. So the National Road Safety Authority wants to appeal to all of us as road users to be disciplined on our roads and obey all the road traffic regulations and rules on our roads so that we all stay safe. As road users, let's all be responsible and then use the road safely so that we'll be able to celebrate this Christmas and the festive season, the Christmas and the New Year, and not hearing any news of crashes. And because already we have lost so many people already from January to November alone. more than 2,673 people have died already on
our roads
from January to December. So we don't want anyone to be now part of the December statistics. Yes, so let's all be safe, behave well on our roads so that we don't become part of the statistics.
Right. Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of the Koko Digest Morning Show. A big thank you to everyone who joined hands to make the show a success. As we're entering into the festive season, let's do well to keep safe. Let's be safe on our roads. Let's be safe in our homes. Wherever we find ourselves, let's make sure to be safe, especially as the crowds are going to start trooping in soon. And yes, next week is Christmas week, and we hope to have a very good time with you here with us. Till then, we'll see you next Tuesday.